2021 tech was out of this world. Virgin Galactic's Sir Richard Branson and Blue Origin's Jeff Bezos hitching a ride on rockets to space, while Netflix's Squid Game stole the streaming show and was crowned the most watched content ever on the platform and is now worth over $900 million. And probably the most talked about announcement in tech is the metaverse, as Facebook unveiled plans to become Meta with the creation and exploration of a digital reality. So what's ahead for tech in 2022, and will I understand any of it? Joining me now is Starship Capital Managing Partner and Tech Analyst John Meyer and MarketWatch Senior Reporter John Swartz. John, thank you for joining us. John Meyer, I want to start with you. Is 2022 really the year that everybody hops onto the metaverse, or is that more in the distant future?
You know, I think it's more like 2023 or 2024 for the metaverse. But I think for us early adopters, 2022 will be that breakout year for the metaverse. It will be the year of critical software development, game development, world development in this metaverse, of foundation laying to really make this that breakout experience product as we get into the mid-2020s for end consumers.
All right, John Swartz, what if I don't want to be in the metaverse? I mean, are people going to have a choice? No. You know, it's like that person who said, I don't need a smartphone, and you probably know one person, right? You guys know one person who still has a flip phone. I mean, can you still act like that in this increasingly technological world? And then does it get confusing when you have options for metaverses that you want to be in? Google, Apple, Roblox.
Right. There is no one metaverse. There are a series of sub-metaverses. And in fact, as John mentioned, this is a couple of years away, if that. I mean, in a sense, think about Second Life. Remember when that came around? That was considered a metaverse of sorts. So what Facebook has done is they've renamed and rebranded themselves to kind of move away from their reputation, which is not great right now, and move towards the next buzzword. But, you know, Microsoft has talked about metaverse, Disney, Apple, everyone has. But for now, it's just a concept. I mean, it doesn't exist per se. It's this idea of kind of going to the next level, the next generation. But I think we're far away, and the tools are not quite there yet. And one thing that's going to hurt Facebook is they try to buy more metaverse-like tools. Is that the FTC is cracking down on mergers and acquisitions, not just next year, but the next couple of years, and that's going to impact Facebook.
All right, let's go there, because you brought up regulation. You brought up Facebook or Meta. And if you look at Facebook, Apple, Amazon, and Microsoft together, John Meyer, they have a combined market cap of $10 trillion. That's obscene. It's completely insane. What dents that in addition to potential regulation in 2022?
Well, I think what dents this is a temporary plateau in what has driven the biggest revenue for companies like Apple, and that is plateau of smartphone revenue. We've hit peak smartphone. We've hit a point where in 2022, it will become less and less with 5G now out, with cinematic cameras now out. It will become less and less wise to keep upgrading your phone every year, to keep funneling your money to a company like Apple or Google for their biggest, again, revenue generators. Now, that is why these companies are rushing to the metaverse, because they believe that's the next technological paradigm. But really, I think the next dent is going to be just a temporary plateau of smartphone revenue. There's not enough to keep adding, to keep propping this revenue up. So
the other John Swartz, is there a way to play it in a different way? I mean, maybe you invest, because a lot of these big mega cap popular names have gotten so expensive, that you invest in the old school tech names like IBM and Intel because they're safe and in many ways they enable new tech?
Well, I might even go the opposite way. I actually think if you're a startup right now and you're competing against a Facebook or a Google, before you were either acquired and you never had a chance to grow into anything much more than what you were, like an Instagram or a WhatsApp, maybe there's a potential for that next company to spring forward. Now, I just kind of looking back at when Microsoft went through the DOJ complaints, that sprung Facebook, Google, and it created a whole new category of companies. So I think the threat of lawsuits, and there is a very clear threat I think Apple and Google are both going to be sued by the Department of Justice early next year. And then we have the ongoing investigations into the others, both the US and in Europe. I think that gives an opportunity for companies that are would-be competitors who might be able to find a niche somewhere, kind of gives them some breathing space. I don't think it's going to scare away investors that much from the bigger companies. They'll continue to grow. But I mean, and at least there's at least the threat of some sort of action, because I'm not going to hold my breath for legislation to become law.
I know. And if we were to see it, I would guess it would happen maybe before the midterms while the Democrats have the power.
That's a good point, Lauren, because once the midterms come around, all bets are off in terms of legislation.
So I'm bottom lining this segment as 2022 is the year we start to understand the metaverse, and then we'll be in it in 2023. We have a year to learn it. It's crazy. It's crazy. The future is now. John Meyer, John Swartz, thank you for the time. We appreciate it.
Thanks.
Thank you.